right, Damson Idris is calling out Black men for the unprovoked hatred of Black women. Damson wrote, I see so much unprovoked hatred towards Black women today by predominantly grown Black men, especially towards our young stars that are just trying to do their thing. The compulsion to humble these women perhaps make you feel like more of a man. I promise you, you aren't men to us. A new year is approaching. Grow up.
This is the biggest butt licking I've ever witnessed in my American life. He getting all the Black women on his side. I'm gonna tell you, you're right. You ain't saying anything wrong. You're absolutely right. But this ain't gonna help Lori Harvey come back, buddy. You gotta pay that invoice a little sooner next time. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Megan Good contract coming up.
You
could probably get her for a little cheaper. Sometimes you got to know when to hold, and sometimes you got to know when to fold. And in this space, they ain't gonna receive nothing from me anyway, so I'm just gonna pass.
Lamarck said he's a simp. Y'all women don't fall for that BS. And Barry Mary said he got pussy lined up for the next 10 years with that.
The most disrespected person in America is the Black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the Black woman. The most neglected person in America is the Black woman.
Who's in more trouble at this point, Black women or Black men? When you all are literally angered by the fact that a Black man is trying to tell you not to bash Black women. You love insulting Black women so much that you insult Black men who try to defend Black women. This is sad. This is a broken brain. And I told you that anytime that these people are in these crises, then you need to let the people from the community that they support, that they pedestalize and they praise, the ones that they spend their resources on, let them come and protect them and stand up for them, because nobody protects you. Let me show you this flashback of a video that I did showing you how it's gotten so bad with Black men bashing us that now other people from other communities have to come and defend us.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
How do you hoes act like if you ain't in no relationship, you gon' die? Y'all be weak in the knees. Stand up. Stand up. I am not the booty piece of the bread. I'm the whole loaf. He the breadcrumb.
If my Jewish mother saw me disparaging Jewish women, or any women for that matter, online for clout, she would end me. That'd be it. And look, plenty of you are going to say, hey, sit this one out. It's none of your business how Black men talk to Black women. You're right. I'm not tone policing this guy. But I am particularly disturbed by this video because Black women, dark-skinned Black women in particular, are probably the most patient people on this planet, because they themselves are the victims of more violence and vitriol than any other group ever. So yeah, to hear that they're being labeled as innately violent by a Black man might be especially hurtful. Again, I know this isn't my business, and I'm not going to tone police this man, but I do wonder what his Black mother thinks about this shit.
Other races of men all over the world are starting to see and be disgusted on how Black men treat their women. I've seen videos of Asian men, of white men, of Hispanic men, even of Arab men, calling out Black men for how they treat and publicly disparage their women. And for what? You think bashing your own woman makes you look good? It only makes you look like a fucking clown. And all those other people that are liking and egging you on and commenting and praising you for doing that shit, one, they're either Black men themselves that hate themselves like you do, or they're fucking racist. And they're sitting back enjoying seeing you destroy your own community. You all have become the laughingstock of the fucking planet. And then you have the nerve to go online and cry and whine and complain that Black women don't respect you. You don't give them shit to respect. Not only are you bashing your women online all the time, y'all are unaliving Black women every 4 to 5 hours. Y'all unaliving pregnant Black women. Femicide is a thing because of y'all. Y'all created all these single Black mothers and then have the fucking nerve to go online and bash the single mothers that you fucking created. To go on these fucking podcasts, these manosphere bullshit, and tell everyone not to date single mothers. Black women are not only the most patient women on the planet, They are the most caring and the most forgiving and the most loving because they have to be in order to deal with not only your dumbasses, but a lot of the hate they get from the rest of the world. And after 400 plus years of slavery, Jim Crow, and oppression, and all the horrible things that white men have done to Black America and Black women, for white men to come out and check you on how you treat your women, you know it has to be really, really bad. Y'all need to do better.
Now, true enough, all of this partnering will lead to Black erasure, but you can't stay where you're not wanted.
Message. I'm white, and I'm also sick and tired of seeing all this nonsensical, stereotypical backlash that Black women get for doing the same things that every other race of women literally does. Like, Black men like to gaslight Black women and make them think somehow they're inferior to other races because they're doing things differently than other races of women when they actually aren't. Let me make one thing clear. Plenty of white women are baby mamas. Plenty of white and Spanish and Asian women, mainly white women, will definitely be up beside their man in jail. In fact, the biggest pick-meishes and the biggest ones who are dumb for their man and are the biggest ride or dies are white and Spanish women. And don't take offense because I'm white and Spanish. I'm German and Argentine. Most of the time, Black women are actually smarter, less codependent, and more likely to leave a man. They're not as weak in the knees for a man as a lot of white and Spanish women are, who are willing to stay and literally never leave through anything. Which I feel is the main reason why Black men try to bash Black women, because, you know, other races of women are more willing to tolerate a lot of shit and be quote unquote submissive and a ride or die and never leave and do things that a Black woman is too smart and too strong to do.
I recently made a series of videos about these same types of situations, how there's never a wealth transfer from their community to ours as a result of marriage or divorce or death. There's never any type of reciprocity. It doesn't work both ways to where either community can brutalize the other and the punishment is the same. They get off scot-free when they make you this target or they hunt you for sport. I even just recently made a video called Emmett Still, where I am saying over 70 years after this atrocity, still, you're still being done in the same way. You have 10 and 11-year-old boys that, listen, if you call for help, if you call 911, they end up shooting you as a small child. If you have to use the bathroom and there's no public bathroom, so you pee in the parking lot as a third grader, you end up being arrested and with a criminal record, these types of things. But then it gets even worse because you still have mobs turning you into strange fruit or dismembering and scattering your bodies because you're dating Becky. So the people that you praise and pedestalize, their brothers, fathers, uncles, and grandfathers in your lives, and then you leave your Black mothers who you make fun of their image to mourn you and bury you and suffer all of the consequences of your brutality. And none of this moves you to chorus to change. And this is exactly why, as it pertains to Jonathan Majors and all of the other people who find themselves in a like situation, I cannot muster up not 1 ounce of sympathy. I don't know how many different cases, how many different times, over how many different decades and centuries, history has to tell you how these types of stories play out. And you stand in front of a jury, they can see you trying to take your property back from her that she took from you and trying to flee from her, and she's running after you, and still they insist by giving her immunity that you are the aggressor in this situation and that you're found guilty. I have no sympathy. And I think the saddest part, though, is after all of this advocacy and all of this research and putting all of these different cases together that date back decades, if not over a century, you all would still rather subscribe to, follow, and support a black man in a wig cosplaying and making fun of turning your image into a caricature, making you the butt of the joke, before you actually support a real for real live black woman who is trying to speak out on your behalf. See, this is why I asked in the beginning, who's in more trouble here? Black men or black women? It's really sad.